looking high atop Dodger Stadium. What a night for a game number 5. Do or die for the Dodgers and for the Red Sox to win. And they are once again World Series champs. So LA pins their hopes on their ace, Clayton Kershaw, who's getting his work in before the start. All eyes on him tonight. David Price will get the call for Boston and looking to get another World Series or 4th title in the last 15 years. That is what's on the line here tonight. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. On the field, down the third base line. That's where we are with the Hall of Famer, the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, Big Poppy, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So tonight, Dodgers have to win, otherwise it's all over for them. Clayton Kershaw, the guy they won on the mound, but how do they actually get a W?
Clayton Kershaw was a disaster in Game 5 of last year's World Series. Look, he's looking for a better performance, and I'm a bit nervous for him, fellas, but I feel like if he can match Rich Hill's performance last night, that'll be an A+.
Well, Kershaw needs to use both sides of the plate against the Red Sox. He want to be successful. This guy attacks the strike zone better than anybody I have ever seen. And if Kershaw stays on one side of the plate, it's going to be a long night for him.
Kershaw in Boston, first time pitching there. He was out of his element. Tonight he's back home. He loves to pitch in this place. The key is going to be that cutter inside on right-handed hitter. But I feel better about his start tonight, and they need him to go deep in the game. They got a chance of winning this game.
Well, David Price goes for Boston. A little bit of a curveball. We thought it was going to be Chris Sale, but Alex Cora goes to Price on short rest. And guys, he went from being, potential GOAT, villain, whatever. He's been amazing his last 2 starts, and now maybe even the MVP if he pitches well tonight.
It's been a magnificent October for David Price. He's done everything that Clayton Kershaw is hoping to do and has not done yet. I expect him to be good, fellas, not great. He's been worked quite a bit.
I talked to Price this morning. The guy's a beast mode. He has been waiting for this moment for so long to show the world what he's capable of. And let me tell you, the Dodgers have problems hitting left hand. Jesse Roscoe make a comeback right now, and they still won't hit him.
Jesse Roscoe. I love it.
Bottom line is, David Price before this postseason have had a lot of trouble, just like Clayton Kershaw. He's been overused the last 2 days. You never know what might happen here with this Dodger crowd tonight. But the Dodgers offense has got to show up if they're going to carry this series back to Boston.
Okay, keep this in mind, KB. The one thing is about Clayton Kershaw, it may be his last game right here at Chavez Ravine Dodger Stadium. He's not only looking to extend the Dodger season, but maybe for his future right here in LA.
I have a question. Poppy, are we going back to Boston or not?
To celebrate, buddy.
There you go.
Journalism,
you know who Poppy's rooting for. I think that was obvious from the get-go.
You're an analyst, Poppy.
So
To celebrate.
it is a game number 5. It's David Price on short rest. We'll get the call tonight against Clayton Kershaw. And the Dodgers win. We keep going. If not, the Red Sox World Series champs. All right, more to do as we send it now upstairs to the public address announcer here at Dodger Stadium. Todd Lights, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your hats for our nation's colors. Presented tonight by the Los Angeles Police Department Honor Guard. Now, fans, would you please remain standing and join in the singing of our national anthem, accompanied by organist Dieter Rule. Please welcome U.S. Coast Guard Petty Officer Second Class, Mike Gallagher.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Dodger Stadium is ready to go, and so are we on Fox. Joe Buck and John Smoltz have the call. When we come back, enjoy it.
We meet again, Mr. Bird. How you been?
I'm great, Mr. Dodger. Nice shirt. Just looking forward to Game 5.
Hey, man, I thought you were a green and white guy, a basketball guy. What do you know about baseball?
Baseball and basketball are the same game.
Same game?
See this? This is round. See this?
It's round.
Where do you play hoops?
Hardwood.
What's this?
Hardwood.
This game's the same. You hit shots and you play defense.
And you move the ball with great handle.
Until one team comes out on top.
Man, we're opponents again tonight.
Like 1979. I prefer 1984.
I love you, Larry. I wish you good luck. And you know I really mean it, even though I don't.
Love you too, Magic. But you're going to need a lot of luck, especially when you're down 3-1.
You know, Larry, what's great about this, one of our towns are going to win another championship.
You know I'm going to need this to keep the light out of my eyes, because that trophy is shiny bright.
This is more my style.
We will see, my friend. We will see.
I got you.
Play ball.
How can you do anything but smile watching those two go back and forth? Thanks to Larry and Magic, and welcome to the World Series presented by YouTube TV on Fox. Tonight is game number 5, and we get set for baseball here in just a moment. I'm Joe Buck, along with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. For the Dodgers, it's simple. Their bullpen is tired, and when a bullpen is tired, it goes to the starting pitcher. The starting pitcher tonight is Clayton Kershaw, and for the Dodgers, they say, Clayton, go get him.
Absolutely, and what you have to have for the starting pitcher for tonight is no memory. No memory of that tough loss, and you got to guard against pitching perfect. Clayton Kershaw has been great after he has not been so good, meaning after he doesn't go 5 innings. Look at the numbers. And they don't need Clayton to be great. They just need him to be good. And when you try not to pitch perfect, that's the biggest key in an elimination game. You've got to guard against it because the ultimate feeling is you must shut the other team out. That's not the case tonight.
Let's talk about the Boston Red Sox. Here they are on the verge of a championship. They hope it's tonight. Maybe it comes in Boston. LA trying to flip the script. But for manager Alex Cora, he has made it clear that if you're on the bench or you're in the bullpen, you are in play. And over their 3 wins so far in this World Series, it's been somebody different every game.
It's been unreal because it's a total buy-in. When you think about Nunez coming off the bench, look what he did. 3-run homer. J.D. Martinez, he was the hero. And then last night, Steve Pearce comes in, and his biggest hits came against right-handed pitching. When the Boston Red Sox won 108 games, you knew they were good. But in this postseason, it's all been about execution, especially with 2 outs.
It's been a lot of fun. Let's see what Game 5 holds for us tonight here in 2018.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Like a fan. Right, free. Well, what's it going to be tonight for these 2 left-handers? David Price, Clayton Kershaw. 2 talented left-handers who have been scrutinized in postseasons past. They're in the spotlight here in Los Angeles. For more on David Price, let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. David Price tonight has a chance to solidify his reputation in Boston forever. The late change from Chris Sale to Price enables the Red Sox to do exactly what they did in the ALCS, and that's avoid using Sale a second time in the series by closing it out in 5. Sale is still lined up to pitch Game 6, but his shoulder remains a major concern, and Alex Cora says he can pitch only 1 more time. Price, meanwhile, likely will be available in relief if the series returns to Boston. Now over to Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Ken. To extend this series, Clayton Kershaw is going to have to pitch differently than he did in Game 1 when he threw mostly fastballs and sliders in a narrow range of about 5 miles an hour. When he's been good, he's thrown more curveballs, and establishing that off-speed pitch early is a key to keeping his World Series dream alive. He has thrown 145 postseason innings, the most ever by anyone who has never won a ring. Joe.
All right, guys, thank you. And not to talk business, but Clayton Kershaw has an opt-out in his contract. This could be his final start at Dodger Stadium in a Dodger uniform. And here's the lineup that he will face for the Boston Red Sox. Mookie Betts will lead off. Then Andrew Benintendi back in there. Did not start Game 3. Steve Pearce, a hero last night. In the middle, it's J.D. Martinez, the right fielder. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. And Brock Holt is batting in the 6th spot at second base, a big part of the win last night. And on the back end, it's Rafael Devers, a huge hit to put Boston on top for good. Christian Vasquez, and then David Price, who was actually warming up more than once last night in the late innings, getting the start for Boston.
Well, for Clayton Kershaw, his teammate yesterday showed him a roadmap through this lineup. The curveball was a huge part of Rich Hill's success. So I think Clayton Kershaw saw that very well. And Mookie Betts, who's only swung at one first pitch, leading off, steps to the plate. And he fouls it off to the right. For coverage of this game in Spanish, please tune to Fox Deportes. What did you have, a little inkling that he was going to hack at that first pitch? I said earlier in the series at some point he was going to have to do that because he's been given the pitchers too much freedom to throw a first pitch strike to a deadly hitter.
Jammed him a bit into left center field, and Kike Hernandez, who gets the start out there, has out number 1, and Mookie Betts is 0 for his last 12 after winning the batting title in the American League when he hit .346. The home plate umpire is Jeff Nelson. We'll tell you why that's significant in the bottom of this first. Jim Reynolds at first base. Field and Culbreth is at second. Kerwin Danley is over at third. Here's the crew chief, Ted Barrett, in left, Chad Fairchild in right, and the replay official is Tim Timmons in New York. Here's Benintendi.
A high strike. Well, Clayton in the playoffs at home this year has been outstanding. With the record of 2-0, and certainly hasn't given up the runs that he's given up on the road.
That is pop foul left side.
0.6 ERA here at home and not giving up many hits. So we document the fact that when he has a clunker or an atypical game, he comes right back, locks in, and has been awesome.
He's 0-2 on Benintendi. With 1 out. That's up the middle. Base hit. Benintendi is on with 1 out in the first. I think when you look back to last night, the Dodgers led 4-0 after 6. The pitching change that happened in the top of the 7th, which has been well documented, we will go deeper into that if we have the chance to do that here tonight. And the bullpen just faltered as the Red Sox put up 9 runs over the last 3 innings and just body slammed Dave Roberts and the Dodgers. It is so important for Clayton Kershaw to put up a 0 here in the first inning for LA.
Well, absolutely. And
as Pearce hits one in the air to left center field, back at the wall, there will be no 0. Pearce has got another. 2-0 Boston in the first. The Red Sox fans in attendance making the noise as Boston jumps on top in a blink.
Before I could say it, their hottest hitter had come to the plate right here in the first, coming off of last night's last 2 at-bats. And he jumped right away on the pitch, and wow, making a bid for early MVP.
See Kershaw Kind of stretching out his neck after that one. He whipped around and watched that thing sail out of the park as that misses inside to J.D. Martinez. Of all the batters that were added either at that end of July trading deadline or before the end of August, we talked to Alex Cora about the impact of Steve Pearce. He said line them all up, including Machado with the Dodgers. I don't think anybody has made more of a difference as a hitter, a right-handed hitter, going to a new team in season than Steve Pearce has for us.
Absolutely. And it compliments Mitch Moreland as well in the playing time, the injury factor. What an impact.
That's hard hit. Nice play by Munch. Long throw for the out. And good positioning to Rob Martinez. Let's go back to the home run.
It's a basic four-seam fastball straight over the top. And he was ready for it. Made this park look small in his last 3 at-bats, that's for sure.
Steve Pearce is 35 years old, from Lakeland, Florida. He's been everywhere. First got to the big leagues with the Pirates in 07. He's been with Baltimore, Houston, the Yankees, back to Baltimore. Here's Bogaerts. He takes a strike. He's been with Tampa Bay, back to Baltimore. He's been with Toronto. He's played with every team in the AL East. And at the age of 35, for the team he grew up idolizing and rooting for, he's a big reason why they are knocking on the door here tonight.
Yeah, and something that'll get overlooked in this first inning was the 0-2 pitch to Benintendi that allowed Pearce to hit the 2-run homer. Sometimes one mistake can bleed into another. What I mean by that is, Benintendi had those hits off of Kershaw in game 1, and right away that 0-2 pitch kind of got Kershaw a little frustrated, because you never want to give up an 0-2 hit at any point, yet alone the playoffs. And then the very next pitch, 2 runs on the board.
3 straight innings for Steve Pearce going back to last night. He homered off Jansen to tie it. Here is a check swing and a ball in the dirt. He emptied the bases with a 3-run double in the 9th inning to blow it open. And then in his first at bat tonight, he goes deep into left center field, about the same spot he hit against Kenley Jansen to make it 2-0 Red Sox. What a great story for Boston. 2-2 the count on Xander Bogaerts. And the inning is over, but damage is done. Steve Pearce, a hero last night, and off to a good start tonight in Game 5. Sponsored by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs. And by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. Here's the Dodger lineup. As you look at that little head-to-head from the top of the inning, David Freese will lead off with Justin Turner batting second. Kike Hernandez hitting third. In the middle, Manny Machado, Max Muncy, and Yasiel Puig. And the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Chris Taylor, Austin Barnes, Clayton Kershaw. 2-0 Boston, and David Price, what a road he's had through this World Series. He will deal with David Freese. He won Game 2 of the World Series on Wednesday through 88 pitches. As Freese flies one into right, pretty well hit. Back at the wall, gone! 2-1 as David Freese jumps the first pitch. And there's life in L.A. There's another right-handed bat picked up in season at the end of August from the Pirates. And a postseason hero from October's past. jumps the first pitch and sends it over the wall in right, 2-1.
Well, that's the best way to answer and get energy back in your dugout. For Kershaw, that previous inning, the first time this entire year he had given up a homer in the first inning. And David Price hadn't given up an earned run on the road yet. So those two things have been checked off the box.
First two guys hacking at the first pitch. 0-1 now on Justin Turner.
Yeah, I would think this is going to be more of an aggressive approach by both teams, especially when you talk about the work that Price has had, the amount of times he's been up, the effectiveness that obviously didn't affect him in Houston when he pitched that gem under similar circumstances.
Well, I just was launching into the whole road through just the World Series alone for David Price. Through 88 pitches in Game 2. 2 nights later, he's coming out of the bullpen here in Game 3. Last night, he warmed up twice in the late innings. And Alex Cora, on his way out of his post-game press conference, said, oh, by the way, David Price is starting tomorrow. And they will save Chris Sale for either Game 6, if there is one in Boston, or, believe it or not, in a perfect circumstance, a relief appearance tonight in Game 5.
Yeah, I understand it from the player's standpoint, right? You always want to be available. You want to be able to deliver. But I don't understand it in theory. And so it'll play out, and it'll be magical, and Boston's going to win this thing, like he said, in a shorter series. Or it's going to have a trickle-down effect, and L.A. will have an opportunity to go back to Boston and see what else the rest of the series has for you.
3 balls and a strike now on Turner.
And the reason I said that is because it's out of character of a regular season. So you can do it in short spurts, but he's been doing this more often than most.
Now a walk after the home run, which looked like this.
Well, the ball is definitely carrying tonight, and the hitters have taken advantage of some pitches over the middle of the plate. Freeze doesn't exactly become a dead pull hitter, and so he did a nice job going with the pitch. And one of these days, if somebody did that to my elbow, I'm done. Like it's I'm just telling you, I'm done. With the force that they do it.
Here's Kike Hernandez, who went deep last night. Gave the Dodgers a little life. 2-run shot. And a 9-6 loss. Left side. Nice pickup by Devers out at second. Got them both. First 3 hitters went after the first pitch, and it's gone homer, eventually a walk, now a double play.
Well, and that's been the approach. Devers makes a nice play and an easy turn. You know, you think about the Boston Red Sox bullpen. Most would like to see a pitcher get worn down, but the reality is they haven't really been able to get to the Boston bullpen with the power that they've had coming out. So maybe the approach tonight is going to be, we need to do damage off the starter. We need to find a way to have the lead again and take our chances late.
Here's Machado. 4 out of 18 in this World Series. The postseason numbers hitting only .242. Ball 1 outside. So David Price, who had no wins over his first 11 postseason starts, 0-9 over that stretch. With Tampa Bay, Detroit, Toronto, Boston. Won his last 2 starts as he misses low in the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Game 5 of the ALCS to clinch it. After warming up in the bullpen the night before in Game 2 of this World Series. Back in Boston on Wednesday. That is up, and the count 3-0. Here's the throwing schedule, John. That's a lot.
I'm just telling you. I mean, more power to him. He has bounced back. Remember earlier in the year, some struggles with some injury and arm. He has answered the call, and he has been more than willing to be available. But again, it's asking an awful lot of yourself to be sharp and not be affected by the amount of use and times you get up and throw a baseball.
That's a strike. 3 balls and a strike. If Machado should reach, Muncy waits on deck. We've had 3 runs on the board already here in the first. That's a strike, and Machado, who seemed willing to take the walk on the 3-0, then the 3-1, is shaking his head coming back to the batter's box.
Top of the zone strike and then bottom of the zone to a hitter is going to look a lot worse because you've seen the top of it, and then that one feels like it's below the zone and very close on both.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on, a run home. Off the hands and backing out of play.
But whatever happens in this game, when you're on the Dodgers side and you've dealt with the loss that you did last night, you cannot let frustration or emotion, A, get you off your game, B, get you kicked out of a game like this. You've got to be able, as hard as it is, let everything go that happened last night and process today and each at bat and each pitch.
Another 3-2. David Price beat Justin Verlander in the ALCS clincher, trying to beat Clayton Kershaw in what the Red Sox hope is a clinching victory here tonight. No pitcher has ever defeated a past Cy Young Award winner in the final game of both the LCS and the World Series in the same year. Kershaw's won 3 of them. Three-two again.
By the way, Verlander should have 3 too. He should have 3 Cy Youngs. Just saying.
Somewhere Justin is smiling. For many reasons. A homer, a walk, a double play. A 3-2 pitch. Strawcam out. And the bat comes around for the second time in as many nights and clips Vasquez from Machado. But David Freese has put the Dodgers on the board. 2 runs in the top of the first, 1 run in the bottom half. 2-1 after 1. First pitch is down to Brock Holt, underway in the second inning. Holt, Devers, and Vasquez after the home run by Freese. Holt flies to left. Taylor has out number 1. The best highlights, graphics, and captions don't stop after this series. Follow MLB on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Here's Devers. He got a big hit last night to put Boston on top for good with an RBI single up the middle in a 5-run ninth. That's down for ball 1.
One of the things about Kershaw and, you know, what he talked about, how next year will be different, because he's been dealing with some injuries and been trying to finish this year as strong as possible. And everyone kind of talks about his velocity. It's down, this and that. And he's just going to have to learn how to adjust to, he knows how to pitch. He's one of the best competitors in the game. Fastball doesn't move much. So it's a straight fastball. He has that cutter slash slider and the curveball. The curveball is the only variation of speed. That pitch right there is going to be the best pitch he has going right now. And I do believe he'll get the fastball velocity up once he clears up his body come next year.
Dealing with injuries, not making much of it. I think the same is true for the guy who was originally slated to pitch tonight, Chris Sale. The teams hide that stuff during the postseason. That's a strikeout at 91 miles per hour. And the second strikeout from Clayton Kershaw.
Because both he and David Price, when they're on, that means their fastball command is about 80 to 90% accurate where they want to throw it. And when they change eye levels, you know, David Price is in the same boat. Really, the only change of speeds he has is that changeup because he doesn't go to his curveball very often or slider. So it puts a lot of pressure on the fastball command on both sides of the plate. And at this point of the season, in the postseason, everything gets magnified when it's not.
Vasquez, after hitting just 207 during the regular season, has had some good at-bats this postseason. And in this World Series has swung it well, takes a strike.
Yeah, he has. And the numbers really don't show some of those at-bats and how they were lot outs.
Trying to get on with 2 out here in the second. In the hole, 0-2. Vasquez can reach somehow. It clears David Price, who's in the on-deck circle. Did not have an at-bat this season. Here's the 0-2. Fought it off, fouled it off.
Yeah, that's a big difference right here. You know, going in, the Dodgers had, especially in the postseason, a big advantage with Grandal from the offensive standpoint, but he has not had that kind of offense at all. And you see the numbers on the series. Dodgers really not getting anything out of their catching core.
Another 0-2 pitch from Kershaw. Outside. Ball 1. Grandal is 4 for 29 this postseason with 15 strikeouts. And the Dodgers come into tonight's game hitting just 194 in the World Series. You can talk about pitching moves all you want, but if you're not putting the bat on the ball and scoring runs, putting the ball in play, it doesn't matter, as Vasquez takes high 2-2. It's a team that was 8th, the Dodgers, during the regular season in the National League, hit 250 as a group. Now a 2-2 pitch to Vasquez. That's in the air to center. Hernandez is back to get it. And a 1-2-3 second for Kershaw. Muncy, Puig, Taylor coming up for the Dodgers, down 1. Telecast is sponsored by Budweiser. Take some out to the ball game. Budweiser Clydesdales were here and on the warning track before tonight's Game 5. A great sight at any ballpark. And all was there on opening day in St. Louis. David Price back to the hill with Muncy, Puig, and Taylor, the hitters. Red Sox lead 2-1. Muncy won Game 3 with an 18th inning home run. Takes down and away ball 1.
The swings in this series, and I don't mean the swings by the hitters, I mean the swings of emotion in this series have been pretty incredible.
Strike one on Muncy. And those who have delivered and then caused those swings of emotion have been, not the usual suspects.
Right.
As you see Mitch Moreland, who got the Red Sox going last night with that 3-run home run off Ryan Madsen, made the game 4-3, and then that guy tied it. Steve Pearce in the 8th inning off Kenley Jansen, and then had the break your back bases clearing double in the 9th. That's foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Muncy.
And we talked about how hard it was going to be to get the crooked number innings, meaning when you get a rally of 3 or 4 in an inning, it usually is such a big blow that team usually goes on to win. And the Dodgers had that big inning. They had that 3 runs, 4 runs, and you felt like, okay, this series is going to be tight, 2-2, and then Boston and what they can do best, 3, 1, and 4 in those last. Just amazing turnaround.
Here's a 1-2. Muncy pops it up. Foul. Out of play.
When you have a team like the Red Sox, ultimately stays in the strike zone for the most part, but when you have runners in scoring position, that's when you can get other teams and other players to expand the strike zone. Red Sox don't. That's why they've been so good. That's why with clutch pitching with 2 outs, normally you don't give up that many runs with 2 outs. And this is going to be a historical playoff series and season for the 2-out runs and in the runners in scoring department.
17 of the 23 runs that have scored for the Red Sox in this World Series have come with 2 out, and for the entire postseason, 56% of their runs, 44 of 79, with 2 down in the inning. And those 2-out runs just feel like they count for more. Here's a 1-2, a strikeout as Price fooled him. Muncy goes down, 1 away, and Yasiel Puig last night touched one off with a 3-run shot. StatCast AI is powered by Amazon Web Services.
Well, this was a huge moment, of course, after they got the 1 run with Bellinger beating the double play throw to first. Puig delivered
Here's one of those swings of emotion with Eduardo Rodriguez, the starter, slamming his glove into the dirt on the mound, and then Puig put on a show going around the bases. Here he is facing the lefty. Strike 1, and after the game, Alex Cora told his team, you guys took me, meaning Cora, off the hook. We heard the report from Kenny saying that even though the lefty on Puig is a better matchup statistically, Alex said, I asked too much out of that young man in that spot. Should have gone out and gotten him and gone to Barnes out of the bullpen.
You know, and as a pitcher, you don't mind if you're going to give up a home run on a decent pitch. It doesn't bother you as much. And talking to Rodriguez, who I thought did an unbelievable job last night, he said that reaction was because I threw a very bad pitch. Under the circumstances, cannot throw that pitch, and that's why I reacted that way. And I totally get it. That was a huge moment, and he knew that was probably going to be his last hitter.
Good change of pace from Price in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And then you had the change in momentum and the rise of the Red Sox that started the next half inning. And if we get the chance, there's been a lot said about the pitching moves, taking Rich Hill out during a 1-hitter. What Rich Hill has said after the fact, what Dave Roberts has said after the fact. And it's interesting because when you really dive into it and you know the people involved, I think both Hill and Roberts believe they did the right thing, were being respectful of the other person, and there was just a miscommunication. Now the count's full on Yasiel Puig.
Yeah, and whether it's going all the way back to the last series and you know, teams give us certain information and then are certainly trying to do the best. You're not privy to everything, and knowing as a player, sometimes the information that a manager has that nobody else has is more important than trying to guess along with or forecast what's going to happen.
Puig off the end of the bat into left center. That ball might drop. It is down. And Puig's got another World Series hit. Now 5 out of 18, and he's on with 1 out here in the second. Here's what we talked about a second ago. This is in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Dodgers rallying. They talked for about 30 seconds. Rich Hill initiated the conversation and said, hey, keep a close eye on me. That got Dave Roberts' attention. Roberts told us he was going out and was going to talk to Rich Hill, not necessarily take him out. But when Rich Hill handed him the ball without even talking to Dave Roberts, Roberts thought, okay, Hill's finished. I'm going to go to my bullpen. Hill said I was being respectful of being a teammate and not trying to be the hero, was ready to come out. Dave Roberts said I was probably going to leave him in if he said the right things for the next hitter. And we know what transpired, but we want to get Ken and Tom involved with 1 on, 1 out. The batter is Chris Taylor. And that's a strike. Ken Rosenthal, I know you and Tom have done a lot of digging on that.
Right, we both spoke to Rich Hill today, and he was upset that he's being perceived as someone who said he was tired, someone who said he wanted out of the game. Neither of those was true. He did not say either. Now, when he came, Dave Roberts, to the mound, Rich Hill said, well, hey, whenever he has come to the mound in the past, he's always taken me out, so that's why I reacted the way I did. But the key thing here started with the conversation between Hill and Roberts last night before the 7th. And that is when Rich Hill said to Dave Roberts, keep your eye on me. In his view, this was not an act of, hey, just come get me, I'm tired. No, it was quite the opposite. It was an act of selflessness, an act of thinking of the team, because what he wanted was Roberts to act on him if he felt the inning was getting away.
1 ball, 1 strike here. We'll hear from Tom in a moment. 1 on, 1 out. Taylor, a late swing, strike 2. Tom?
Yeah, the 2 most important things to remember here, Joe, is that Rich Hill never said he was tired. And that's been interpreted that way by the public, but that was not the case. And Dave Roberts did not want to take him out of the game. You just saw that video where he's jogging out to the mound, made no signal to the bullpen. And Rich told Kenny and I that he had his back to Dave. He saw the infielders moving towards the mound, so when he turned around, Dave Roberts was there, and he had never come out, according to Rich Hill, without taking him out of the game. So Rich assumed he was out of the game, and once the pitcher gives you the baseball as a manager, you must take him out of the game. You're not going to reboot his system and keep him in the game after he mentally checks out.
That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. John, I know you want to weigh in on it. I mean, that happens every day to a manager. It's not just reading numbers, but it's reading nuanced body language, a look in the eyes, something that's said. I mean, clearly Dave Roberts is going to keep a close eye on Rich Hill. It's the World Series, for God's sake. So that wasn't really something he needed to say to Dave Roberts. And I think both guys think they were doing the right thing.
Yeah, I honestly, it's not being political here. It's easy to see both sides. It really is. Unfortunately, in the moment and the tension and the way the ball bounced, the way the execution didn't get, that's the easiest part to second guess. So as if both had to do it all over again, I think the confusion would have been eliminated by maybe sending the pitching coach out there instead of Dave going out there. And I totally get it. When you're in this moment and you're at the height of the World Series, everybody is making the best educated decision they think they can based on the information and based on knowing that player and knowing the personnel.
2-2 pitch is up and away. And just to recap, Rich Hill never said he was tired. He said, keep a close eye on me. And Dave Roberts was jogging out there to talk to Rich Hill, not necessarily to take him out of the ball game, but when Hill handed him the ball with no words being exchanged, he was out of the game.
Yeah, and I can understand that part. We used to know when Bobby came out to the mound, he had a certain gait. Didn't matter what you said, you were coming out. And then there were times where he had a different gait about him coming to the mound. He would have a conversation with you, and it was your job to convince him that you were in control and could stay in the game.
Here's Taylor, gets jammed a bit on a 3-2 pitch, and that's into shallow left center. That's Betts. 2 out. As we get back to the present tense, and after the 1-out flare hit by Puig, the batter will be Austin Barnes, who is 0 for 9 in this World Series.
I mean, isn't it interesting how this game works, though? I think everyone would have assumed that Chris Sale was pitching today, right? I mean, there's no reason to not believe it was his turn. And then we found out after the game that it was going to be David Price, and you sit there and you go, makes you think about all the things that you might assume.
Well, we don't know all that's going on with Chris Sale. That's clear. That's over the outside corner. 2 times on the disabled list the second half of the year. He's had some shoulder trouble. So Alex Cora, who again said he's available tonight in the right situation to come out of the bullpen, said why not give him extra rest? We're up 3 games to 1. Price can go. And if there is a game 6 in Boston, Sale will have that game. Here's the 0-1. But if Sale were healthy, and you're never going to say 100% at the end of a long year, but if he were right, this is Chris Sale's ballgame to end the World Series in his mind, and the Dodgers would have to take their chances against that left-hander.
Absolutely, and he wouldn't have come out of his Game 1 start when he did, and certainly would have pitched when David Price pitched in Houston in Game 5, so a lot to consider.
That's inside. 1-2 on Austin Barnes, with Kershaw the next hitter. This will be pitch number 38 for David Price. He's put a lot of miles on that left arm in October. Runner at first, 2 out. Barnes strikes out. Austin Barnes is now 0 for 10 in this World Series. 2 innings in the books, 2-1 Boston. This is sponsored by Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, in theaters November 16th. A 2-run bolt off the bat of Steve Pearce and Tony C's Sports Bar and Grill in Boston reacts when Pearce put the Red Sox on top in the top of the first.
I wonder how long they had to get there to get the front row seats there. What do you think? 10 a.m.?
Which day? Here's David Price, the pitcher. Price is 3 for 48 lifetime swinging the bat in his 11th season. Longtime American leaguer, hitting .063. Takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be Price, then Betts, then Benintendi. If anybody gets on, the red hot Steve Pearce, who made him go crazy, and Tony C's. That's up and in, 2-1. Last night, Rich Hill hit his counterpart, Eduardo Rodriguez, with a pitch in the 3rd. That's a strike, 2-2. Strikeout starts the 3rd. Hey fans, T-Mobile has already donated nearly $5 million toward hurricane recovery this postseason, but they won't stop there. Tweet or retweet with hashtag HR4HR, and T-Mobile will donate another $2 to help rebuild communities. Doing great work. 1 out and nobody on here in the 3rd inning for Betts. 0 for his last 12. That is high for ball one.
Well, if Kershaw starts pounding that fastball for strikes, he's going to have to start throwing the curveball. This is about the time. Ideally, you'd like to go through the lineup once and not have to show that many curveballs if you can help it.
1 ball, 1 strike.
But this is too good of a team to be behind in the count. And pitching ahead of the count, Kershaw this postseason has been outstanding. 0.93 batting average. Behind, though, it's been 357.
He's behind in the count here, 2-1. Now 0 for his last 12 is Mookie Betts. That is the longest hitless streak in a World Series by a reigning league batting title winner. Hard to believe this guy was all world all season and has been so good for so long. And here they are up 3 games to 1. And their terrific leadoff hitter is 0 for his last 12.
Well, both these teams, of course, built for different leagues and different reasons, but the depth of the Dodgers is what's been impressive in a National League style game. And obviously 1 through 9 for the Red Sox lineup.
He is 0 for his last 13. 2 out. And with the bases empty, the batter will be Andrew Benintendi. Came in tied, Betts did, with Pittsburgh's Honus Wagner in the inaugural series in 1903. Wagner won the batting title that year and went 0 for 11, and now Betts has slid past that, and he can just shake his head.
You know what's amazing about the postseason? Why it's such a mental grind? If he went 0 for 13 in the regular season, he's not getting asked about it. You go 0 for 7 in the postseason, you get asked about it. You say, what's wrong? Like, everything's magnified. Pitchers talk the day before they start. You never do that in the postseason. Hold press conferences. Relievers, managers have to answer questions every single day to every kind of media that you wouldn't do on a regular season basis. So everything gets magnified, and you're forced to think differently this time of the year.
Benintendi fouls it. He got on with an 0-2 base hit in the first inning, and on the first pitch to Pierce, the next hitter, he went deep. And Freese jumped David Price with an opposite field home run in the bottom of the first. Crowd's trying to get back in at 1-2 pitch.
And the more you're in this environment, the better you're able to handle it. The better you don't get carried away by the headline in the paper or something that's being said. And I think that's just part of getting in, learning, and then not letting it cause you to think differently once you get back in the heat of the moment.
That's hard hit. Freese down on a knee, gets it on a hop. Bottom of the third inning rolls in. It'll be Kershaw, Freese, and Turner for the Dodgers, trailing by 1. World Series presented by YouTube TV on Fox. A lot of activity in downtown LA, especially sports activity. And tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by State Farm. Here is Kershaw. There is David Price in strike 1 at 93. Regular season numbers, 11 hits. Appeared in that 18-inning game as a pinch hitter and flied out. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He actually had really good at bat. I mean, the crowd was going crazy, and he hit a line drive out to right field that was caught. So on the bench that whole time. And fun moment when you're able to pinch hit as a pitcher. Great upside. No downside.
That skips in there. You know, you talked about the numbers of opportunities and how that should make the postseason feel more routine, more like the regular season. But these are two guys matching up here tonight that have had their questions, were sick and tired of hearing about not stepping up in the big moment when their team needs them the most. Price has exercised some of those demons here in 2018 with the Red Sox. Kershaw has a great opportunity here tonight as he comes in 1-3 in elimination games in his postseason career.
Yeah, and there's a balance, Joe, of being able to want to be in that spot, but then trying super hard, like trying so hard to shake whatever the past is, or to pitch so great in these moments that you can actually pitch yourself into a not your normal routine. I mean, he is the best there ever will be in the regular season for what he established in his career, hands down. But then the pressure to be greater in the postseason has been thrust upon him. And that might have come mainly from himself. You can't be greater. So you just got to be who you are, and it's easier said than done when all of that weight is put on your shoulders.
Freese homered his first time. Hits one in the air to right here, and Martinez doesn't see it. It's over his head. And Freese will keep going to third. The throw by Hope. Too late.
Right about now is the tough sky. It's the only about 30 minutes where it can get really difficult for an outfielder. And certainly if you can't pick it up, there's not a worse feeling in the world. And right about here, he's like, I cannot see it. And by the time he gets to it, it's almost at the track. And Freese runs, puts his head down, thinks it might be an out, and then is able to kind of kick it into his gear. He's not super fast. But a huge moment for the Dodgers here.
David Freese is homered and now tripled. And if there's one guy the Dodgers would one up in this spot to produce a run with a man at third, less than 2 out, it's Justin Turner. Infield in. Grounds to short. Turner goes after the first pitch. 2 out in the inning, and a big out by David Price. And that's got Turner, who's been so good in the postseason, and who came in hitting .381 in this World Series, talking to himself.
Yeah, and because they were halfway, the Dodgers did have a contact play on. The contact play in that situation, with the way that Bogaerts had to go get the ball, would have been interesting to see if he'd had the ability to throw a strike. But nonetheless, you are told wait for the ball to go through. The ball didn't go through, and now they're going to need the Boston Red Sox theory of postseason, a big 2-out hit right here.
It's up to Kike Hernandez. Bounced into a double play his first time. Good pitch, strike one. The Dodgers, who set a franchise record with 235 home runs during the regular season, a lineup filled with guys who can pound the baseball. At times have been living by the home run and dying without the home run. Not able to manufacture. Can they get a 2-out hit here to tie it? Into right field, long run for Martinez. He sees this one and has it to end the inning. And David Price gets around the 1-out misplayed triple. And the Red Sox lead 2-1 after 3 in Game 5 of the World Series. This is sponsored by YouTube TV. Watch like a fan. Try it free. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Beautiful night in Southern California. David Price comes in and now gets an an opportunity to give that forearm to J.D. Martinez, who missed the ball in right. But Price got around it. That's a strike to Steve Pearce, who homered his first time up. And over his last 3 at-bats has gone homer, 3-run double, 2-run home run. Able to lay off, ball and a strike. Our Indeed player resume, and I mentioned it verbally earlier. But there he is in the uniform of all the teams in the AL East. Loving this chance and fouling it for strike 2.
Seriously, who needs scouting when you can get a player like that within your own division? He knows every secret. It just keeps adding them.
Ken Rosenthal, he's a great story.
Absolutely is. The Red Sox were his favorite team growing up, but not just that. They were the team that drafted him in the 10th round of the 2004 draft. Pearce was at South Carolina at the time, and they nearly won the College World Series his junior year, so he decided to turn the Red Sox down and return for his senior year. Well, it didn't happen for South Carolina. They didn't win the College World Series, and Pearce cost himself about $100,000 because the Pirates drafted him the following year and paid him much less. You saw the journey he's taken. He never got to win that College World Series, but he's one win away from winning this World Series.
Ken thanks the count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and if they do, he'll be a big reason why.
Yeah, you just look at the last series, the MVP was Jackie Bradley Jr. He got 3 hits.
The third, that's a fair ball, long throw, good play by Turner, 1 out.
He got 3 hits, but they were the best timed hits in the series, and all those RBIs. And you could look at Pearce in the same way. He's got 3 hits, but they happen to be 3 huge hits so far, given the fact that the Red Sox go on to win the World Series. You never know.
Batter is J.D. Martinez, who grounded out his first time. You heard Ken Rosenthal say that Steve Pearce went to South Carolina. You know who else did? Jackie Bradley Jr. 2 guys who in this series in L.A. homered off Kenley Jansen. That's fouled away right side. 0-1. The count on Martinez, who is 3 out of 15 in this World Series. Crowd trying to jump back in. They got loud in the bottom of the 3rd on that triple by Freese. And the ground out off the bat of Turner, and Kike Hernandez fouled out. Still 2-1 Boston. Oh, 2 pitch. '24th start in the postseason for Clayton Kershaw overall. An ERA of 4.28 in postseason pitching, and that's fouled off to the right, compared to a 153-69 record, a 2.39 career ERA during the regular season in over 2,100 innings pitched. He is 9-9 overall, and there are those numbers, and a big discrepancy. Nobody works harder at being great than Clayton Kershaw. What does he give the Dodgers tonight as he bounces one in there, 2-2?
Yeah, you know, like David Price too. Some weird games he's had in the postseason. Games that you just go, whether it's a huge inning or lack of defense, or just things that just don't typically go that way, add to that frustration and add to the lack of success we're used to seeing both of them have.
2-2 pitch. That's into left field for a base hit. Not hard hit, but just floated over the glove of Machado. And Martinez on base for the first time tonight. Yesterday, hundreds of kids from the greater LA community participated in a play ball event at the Dodgers Dream Field, Bishop Canyon Fields in Elysian Park. Find ways to play ball near you at playball.org. Runner at first, one out. Bogaerts digging in, struck out his first time. 2 for 20, strike one.
Seeing that play ball reminds me of growing up as kids. What you miss is that we were playing the shift before the shift even happened. Only had 4 guys, so we had a shortstop, an outfielder, a pitcher, and right field was out. He hit it to right field, you're out. You had to hit it to where the fielders were.
Oh, 1 blocked by Barnes, a ball and a strike. Tom Verducci.
Yeah, so far with Clayton Kershaw, we're seeing better sequencing and better stuff than what we saw in game 1. This slider here in the first inning to Bogaerts, that is better than any slider he threw in game 1. That depth was not there on the slider in game 1. As far as sequencing, mixing it up much more. Already as many curveballs tonight as he threw in game 1.
1-1 pitch is grounded left side. Machado to second. Muncy turned it. Kershaw gave up the 2-run home run to the third batter he faced tonight. Pretty good since, but trailing 2-1. Tomorrow on Fox, 911 is all new with a special Halloween edition. Don't miss your favorite first responders in the craziest episode yet. Tomorrow at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. Peter Krause of 911 at the ballpark tonight as Machado is fooled on that pitch from Price. Strike one. It'll be Machado, Muncy, and Puig for the Dodgers facing elimination, trailing by just 1. Machado twice thought he had walked in the first inning, ended up striking out. Fouls it out of play. 0-2. Price is allowed a hit in each of the first 3 innings. Had a double play turn behind him. He struck out 3, walked 1. That's a foul tip. Vasquez can't hang on. It stays 0-2.
Price has done a nice job, whether he's feeling 100%, gassed, or somewhere in the middle. He's done a nice job moving the ball in and out and then mixing in that changeup. When he misses in, he misses in. He hasn't made a lot of mistakes over the middle of the plate, other than Freese jumping a fastball right away. He's doing his job on the mound.
Time called by Machado. Price is in no hurry. We talked about it coming into this game. No hurry to get back out there on the mound with the long breaks. Trying to take, as you see, deep breaths and take his time, make his pitches. 0-2. Ball 1.
Because he makes you inside conscious as a right-handed hitter, the feeling is you got to get it started earlier. And then if he feels like you are starting the engines too quickly with the bat, he's going to throw that changeup and pull the string on you. Like that.
Second time Machado is struck out, and there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Strikeout number 4.
Well, it's a power changeup, and what I mean by that is it's thrown just like the fastball, and it comes out like the fastball, and then has late fading action. And about 9 or 10 miles an hour off of the fastball, but it's the location of where it goes that makes it so deadly. And that was the pitch he had the Astros eaten out of his hand, really, in that game he pitched in Game 5.
So it was the best changeup he'd ever thrown. Muncy flies one into center. Betts first step is back, now in. 2 quick outs with the heart of the order. Puig coming up. Alex Cora talked about David Price and how he's grown as a teammate, and being with Nathan Eovaldi after Game 3 when he went 6 innings through 97 pitches and was the definition of a hard luck loser, giving up the home run to Muncy. I mean, Eovaldi was incredible, and he said David Price, instead of rolling out of the ballpark, stayed with Eovaldi after the game, did treatment with Eovaldi, got on the bus with Eovaldi, sat next to him. These guys love Price. And Alex Cora said that's why I defended him the way I did after his Game 5 start in the ALCS when he beat Verlander and the Astros. A mismatch theoretically going in that was talked about, and Price ended up on top.
You know, every pitcher may not admit it, but a chip on the shoulder is not a bad thing. He's had a chip on his shoulder for quite some time, just dealing with the lack of success at this time of the year that he's being asked about constantly over time, and quieting critics as he goes through this postseason with basically the turnaround of the last few games.
Here's Holt. There's out number 3, and David Price is through 4. 5th inning, 2-1 Boston. Back after this from your local Fox station. Not a bad way to get to Dodger Stadium, by the way. To avoid a lot of traffic. 2-1. Boston leading 5th inning. First inning runs. That's it. Clayton Kershaw and David Price have locked in here. There's a strike to Brock Holt.
Kershaw's done a nice job after getting off over the shock of the first inning of what happened, right? You're in a big game. You know your playoff life is at stake, and right away, before you blink, it's 2-0. So settling down has been outstanding. The breakdown, there's the pitches. And now this is the crucial part of getting him to at least give the Dodgers 6 innings with the score the way it is.
Right side, David Freese. A lean and a catch. Clayton Kershaw loves wearing the home white and loves pitching on this mound at Dodger Stadium. 175 starts, including the postseason. Look at the regular season numbers. A career ERA of 2.08. The postseason, 11 starts. Dodgers are 8-3 overall over those 11 starts as Devers takes a strike. This has always been regarded as one of, if not the best pitching mounds in all of baseball, and I'm sitting next to somebody who was out there a lot.
Absolutely. It's a great one. It's a great park to pitch in. You know, unless you're in the daytime, or unless last year you get this record 100-degree temperature, the ball really doesn't jump, especially at this time of the night when it gets later in the night.
That's strike 3 on 3 pitches to Devers, and strikeout number 4 for Kershaw.
But see, here's where it's going to get tough for Dave Roberts. At some point in this game, if Clayton Kershaw is still dealing, his bat is going to come up in a crucial spot. And if you're trailing by 1, the decision's going to be at what point, because you're down 3-1, do you value that at bat, pinch hit wise, and then your options in the bullpen. It sets up kind of nice right now, the 5th inning, and then he's going to come up 3rd, so you can kind of clear the deck after next inning and then see if he's still effective, keep him out there and eat up as many innings as possible.
Here's Vasquez. Popped it foul back toward us. Talking about the mounds, you think they would be uniform across the big leagues, but all mounds are not created equal.
They're not. And the surface and where you land and all the different things that you would think, all the play and everything, it's not every mound fits the eye of the pitcher or his cleats.
That's hard hit on a line. Taylor is there in a 1-2-3 inning. Only 63 pitches for Clayton Kershaw. But Boston leads it 2-1 halfway through. This is sponsored by Indeed, the world's #1 job site. By T-Mobile, whether you're home or away. T-Mobile has you covered.
I thought I was going to have to give you covered right there.
I was so happy to get.
I had you. I was just grabbing the card. I was ready.
Our Budweiser game summary, you can go through it. All the action in the first. Taylor. Strike one. Taylor, then Barnes, then Kershaw. Bottom three in the lineup for LA. 2-1 Boston on the strength of the 2-run home run by Steve Pearce in the first. Answered to some degree on the leadoff home run by David Freese in the bottom half.
See, in the second half, David Price made an adjustment in his pitch selection early in the count, especially first pitch. So he dominated the second half mainly because guys knew that he was going to give you a fastball to hit. He started throwing off speed on the first pitch, and he was getting great success and fooling the hitters. And, of course, that shows up in the numbers in the second half and how good he was.
That pitch just disappears, and the count 1-2 strikes on Taylor, who flied to center his first time up. David Price has been sensational yet again. He's worked in relief. He's warmed up, did so multiple times last night late. Gets the ball tonight. Looks no worse for the wear. Here's a 1-2. Wouldn't chase it. 2-2.
But the biggest thing he's doing is staying out of the middle of that box. He pitches on both sides of the plate, and that is very difficult for a hitter to either sit on a pitch or sit on an area of the plate that you like to do damage. And the Dodgers do damage on mistakes, no doubt. Second most home runs in baseball to the Yankees.
2-2 pitch, check swing. He went around, says the home plate umpire, Jeff Nelson. Taylor said, ask for help. Nelson said, I don't need it. One away. And strikeout number 5. And Jeff Nelson is arguing initially with Dave Roberts, and then I think his attention went elsewhere in the dugout, and Dave Roberts says, let's go. And that was called a swing.
And really, all the hitters want, all they really want is they know how hard it is to call balls and strikes. All they really want is the first base umpire to get a chance to decide that. And
here's one to the right side off the bat of Barnes. 2 out. The home plate umpire is Jeff Nelson. And I said it when we were going around the horn and showing the different umpires. This is just by coincidence. But look for David Price, 9 games with Jeff Nelson behind the plate. He's 7-2 with that ERA, and that's the most wins Price has with any umpire. And here he is umpiring the plate in Game 5 of the World Series with Price on the mound.
That is an amazing stat just by the randomness of which you obviously get to pitch to home plate umpires. That's a lot of games.
Kershaw takes a strike. David Price slows it down, takes his time, gets ready. Kershaw grounded out his first time, taken care of by Devers. Here's an 0-1. Shortening up and taking the ball low.
Well, this series has just it's gone in spurts. Yesterday's game was 0-0 through 5 going to the 6th. It was about as tight as it gets. You know the rest of the story from the 7th inning on. This game came out early, 2-3 runs in the first, nothing since. Everybody's settling in. Look at that.
Last 3 innings from the 3rd on. It'll take him at the very least one more than 9, but it's pitch number 66.
One of the things you don't want to do against great pitchers is get deep counts all the time. So when you make quality pitches, you're going to get quick outs.
2-2. Slow roller. Price picks it up and gets the out. Another 1-2-3 inning for David Price, who has been outstanding. Fastball good. The changeup good. 2-1. Boston. Sponsored by Bank of America, the official bank of Major League Baseball. And by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs. Chevrolet is the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and the only brand to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs 3 years in a row. 1-run game. 6th inning rolls in. David Price, the pitcher, will lead it off. And we look ahead to next Saturday and the matchups with Nebraska and number 8 Ohio State, West Virginia against number 15 Texas. 11:30 Eastern with the start for the first, 3:30 for the second. That is all coming your way Saturday on Fox, or you can watch it anywhere on the Fox Sports app. Here's Price. Swings it, grounds it, jogs it. Machado, 1 out. So 65 pitches for Kershaw. And he's through 5 1/3. He's giving the Dodgers what they needed coming in, but David Price is just giving more to this club.
Absolutely. And I said, we talked about it in the opening, you can't try to pitch perfect. And that first inning could have got away from Kershaw and could have altered his game plan and mental approach, but he rebounded, and he's been nearly perfect since then. So all you can do is give your team a chance, hope your offense kicks it into gear, and you play game 6.
Here's Betts. Takes a strike.
And we've got some exhausted guys that aren't going to admit it, nor should they. But the tanks are getting empty for a lot of guys in the bullpen, pressed into duty.
High and tight, 1 ball, 1 strike on Mookie, who's flied to center in each of his 2 at-bats.
And inevitably what happens in most postseasons, you get a couple guys whose confidence is shaken, and the manager may not be able to go to that guy in situations when they haven't produced. So you might be playing even shorter in the bullpen than you intended to based on those factors.
Two and 1 on Betts. 1 out, nobody on. Mookie chops the third. It's foul. That's the part you just talked about that the general public is not aware of. Who's come into the office and said, hey, look, if you can avoid using me, avoid using me because I'm on empty. And that's information that these managers, and rightly so, keep to themselves. It has to do with how the other team might play the late innings strategically. 2-2. High fly ball into left. Back at the wall. It is gone. Betts has made it 3-1. For his previous 13, and he shoots one out to left. The 2-run lead is back for Boston. Benintendi takes the ball.
Well, you know, that feels good for him. He might have been pressing a little bit as much as his lack of production was probably wearing on him.
Hard hit. Nice stop by Freese. Gets to the bag, 2 out.
He's so quick and short to the ball. That's what made him the double threat. And there's that slider that did not disappear. That one stayed in the zone way too long. You see how quick his hands are? You're not going to continue to get away with getting him out unless you make great pitches. And he just got enough to get it out.
And he just hit his first career postseason home run in his 87th at bat. At the end of a likely MVP year. Here's Pierce. Didn't get all of it. That's Hernandez. But the lead is back to 2. For a guy who was struggling, one huge smile from Mookie Betts, who's made it 3-1 Boston. Doesn't matter the sport. Organizations are looking for a combination of speed and power. And Mookie Betts has it. He just went deep to make it 3-1. Bottom of the 6th inning now. David Freese takes low for ball 1. And for Mookie Betts, he packs a lot of punch. 5'9", 177. He hit 32 home runs, stole 30 bases, and led the league hitting 346.
Electric hands. Can't beat him inside, that's for sure. And now the Dodgers have to respond. They responded in the first inning. They need to respond in this inning.
Freese takes a strike. Turner had an RBI chance his last time up. Grounded out with a man at third. Freese and 1 out. Here comes a 1-1. Down, 2 balls and a strike. Freese, good swing at a pitch that was down the middle. He'd like to have that back. 93 miles an hour, fouled it straight back to the screen.
Yeah, that was a good swing. He's had a lot of good swings this postseason. The quality of his at-bats have been outstanding. Just couldn't get on top of that fastball.
Five for 11 in this World Series. And now 2 home runs this postseason. Trying to get on to start the 6th. Holt backs up a bit. Gets the out.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Here comes Justin Turner. During the regular season, the Dodger hitters drove in a runner from third with less than 2 out 55% of the time. That was the 6th best. in Major League Baseball, and Justin Turner was above that, pulling the average up at 65% of the time. This postseason, they've done it 40%. Turner missed an opportunity back in the third. Takes a strike. Oh for 1 with a walk. 8 for 22 in this World Series, trying to get on in front of Kike Hernandez. He's sitting in the number 3 spot in the Dodger lineup tonight. Fly ball into left center field. Back is Benintendi. Got a good jump. 2 down. Well, they can cover a lot of ground with this Red Sox outfield. They don't have Jackie Bradley Jr. out there, but in left and in center, they're as good as anybody in the game.
They really are. And I mean, they play in a perfect park, too, for center to right field. This park right here, they would make it look real small if they played here from a standpoint of not many hits. They take away gaps.
Kike Hernandez now 0 for 2. Takes a strike. Hernandez was at the plate in the first. He followed the homer by Freese. The walk to Turner, hit into a double play. He's at the plate in the third. 2 out. Runner at third. Down by a run. Fouled out. A couple of key at bats. This one hard hit. Nice play by Holt on a backhand. And he got it. A 1-2-3 inning for David Price. And a good play by Brock Holt to his right. A little slip, no problem. 3-1 Red Sox. Into the 7th. Back after this from your local Fox station.
On the game. Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
Well, this could be the biggest inning that Clayton Kershaw has left here in Game 5. It's already 3-1 Boston. He deals with the heart of the lineup for the Red Sox. Martinez, Bogarts, and Holt. Bullpen is quiet for Dave Roberts. Dodgers down 3-1. Trying to stay in this Game 5. That's on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You said it. I mean, he knows now. 3 was the max. 3 was the max you want to give up against any team and any game, and that's where Clayton's got to buckle down now.
High fly ball into center. Back at the wall. It is gone. Martinez goes deep. 4-1 Boston here in the 7th. What a first year in a Red Sox uniform for J.D. Martinez. Hit .330, 43 home runs. That's his 3rd home run of this postseason. The lead is the biggest of the night.
They can do it all. They can beat you with power. They can beat you with the small ball. And they certainly can beat you with clutch hitting. And if this trend and score continues, once again, a World Series champion is going to be crowned with not a lot of strikeouts, power, speed, average. They don't strike out that much. They make you earn everything.
That's ripped into left field on a high delivery, and Bogarts is on. Nobody out in the 7th as they want to add on. Back to the home run by Martinez.
Well, he went backdoor cutter, and he tried to get a fastball up, but unfortunately the fastball was down. It's absolutely the perfect swing path for this guy, and it doesn't matter where, center, right, or left. Looks like the ankle is a lot better than what it was when he first turned it.
Third career home run off Kershaw from Martinez. That's a ball outside to Holt. And they just started moving around for the Dodgers out in their bullpen. Holt takes ball 2. Urias, the left-hander, is up. More damage has been done. 1 in the 6th, 1 here in the 7th. That's a foul ball. As Freese was ready to spin and throw to second, but it's 2-1 on Holt. Top 4 spots in this lineup in Game 3 went 0 for 28. That was in the 7-hour, 20-minute, 18-inning game. Games 4 and 5. Better story for Alex Cora, the rookie manager, trying to be the first rookie manager to win a World Series since Bob Brenly did it with the Arizona Diamondbacks back in 2001. Took 7 games, and it took beating Mariano Rivera to get it done on that hit by Luis Gonzalez.
Well, everybody seems like the last 5 years going into postseason has some kind of saying or some kind of title they live by, and I believe for the Red Sox it's do damage. Yep.
They have done just that. Here's the 2-1. This is to second. Muncy to second. They get 1. Holt beat the relay from Machado. 1 on, 1 out. Here's some sounds of the game on the home run by Martinez from Bogaerts.
A ball. Yeah!
You know, you think about all the recent success for the Red Sox as they try to win their 4th title over the last 15 years. The only guy that was active on the roster and is active right now for the Boston Red Sox when they won it all in 2013 over St. Louis is him, Xander Bogaerts.
That's pretty amazing. The turnover.
Just 5 years ago.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing, and certainly the construction of this team has been pretty amazing, from spring training to the late moves that you talked about earlier to some of the things that they addressed. And look, a lot of people are going to tell you, if they're honest, come September after the trade deadline, a lot of people felt they didn't address their bullpen. And it hasn't showed up at all. I mean, it's been a strength, and they've utilized it in different ways. Of course, Eovaldi, Porcello, and now Price, and even Sale.
But also other guys have dialed it in, like Joe Kelly.
Yes.
That's a near wild throw with an 0-2 count on Devers from Kershaw.
Seriously, it's like they added another pitcher when Joe Kelly went to that next level. I mean, he has been that good. Of course, so are the other guys that have been able to contribute in the series. Everybody has been on point. Barnes, Hembree.
Kelly got the win last night with 2 shutout innings with 3 hits allowed. But more strikeouts for the hard-throwing right-hander with 3 over his 2 innings. Here comes an 0-2. Breaking ball grounded up the middle by Devers. Holt goes to third and now stops and dives back in hand first. He was on his way and thought better of it. 2 on, 1 out. Another hit by the 22-year-old Devers. And that was an 0-2 count.
Yeah, that's not vintage Kershaw. An 0-2 count in the first inning. Followed a 2-run homer, and this one just rolled a bit. That's the curveball that stayed up. I'll tell you what, Devers' future for me has a high ceiling. Really didn't get the time to kind of go through what you need through in the minor leagues. He was called up early, and he's learning in the big leagues. He's doing pretty well.
Well, you just get the feel that the Dodgers want any chance here in Game 5 as they trail by 3. 2 on out there, only 1 out, and Christian Vasquez at the plate. Kershaw has got to end this inning without any more runs crossing the plate. There's a strike. And I'm sure Dave Roberts is torn.
Yeah, the thing that works in his advantage right here is David Price is on deck, and I get it. That doesn't mean anything if another hit gets played and another run gets played across the plate.
Dave Roberts is deciding as he's now gotten Pedro Baez up. Do I want to stay with Kershaw? Do I want to go to the bullpen and start that process here in the 7th? Desperation time for LA. Here comes the 0-1. Good one from Kershaw there. Strike 2.
Well, you know what's been amazing since we got a chance to cover both these series is that the Dodgers bullpen couldn't have been any better in the NLCS. I mean, it was lockdown, and the starters had some hiccups in their couple of the games, and unfortunately, as this series has unfolded, there's been a few guys that have not been as locked in, and execution when called upon has been bad timing.
Vasquez up. Runners on at first and second, 1 out, and an 0-2 count. Big strikeout for Kershaw. 2 down. And David Price will walk to the plate with 2 on, 2 out. The Dodgers in the bottom of this 7th inning will have the heart of their lineup: Machado, Muncy, Puig. They have Jock Peterson and Cody Bellinger on their bench, Matt Kemp as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why Price stays in the game now, up by 3. A, he's pitching great. B, Alex Cora wants to stick with the left-handed pitching of Price, and in theory leave those left-handed batters on the bench.
Absolutely.
1-1. Price has only thrown 76 pitches. Trying to add to the Red Sox lead in the 7th. That's down. 2 balls and a strike.
This will definitely be the last hitter for Clayton Kershaw, and certainly he would have loved to have had it at 2-1 when he exited the game, but right now 4-1, and the Red Sox are inching their way towards closing this thing out.
Dropped up the middle. Muncy steps on, and that will do it. A home run in the 6th by Betts. A home run leading off in the 7th by J.D. Martinez. And it's 4-1. Time to stretch at Dodger Stadium.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Major League Baseball's free skills competition for boys and girls ages 7 to 14. Sign up now to host a free competition in your local community at pitchhitrun.com. Bottom of the 7th inning. And John David Price's command has been so good that it's been impossible for the Dodgers to wait him out. They've gone after early deliveries. That's why the pitch count is down. That's why he's still working now in the 7th. Pitch number 77.
He's done a great job at pitches like that, tough takes, and then the illusion that they're strikes and the Dodgers have no choice but to go out of the zone to try to get it. And when you go out of the zone against his stuff, it's going to result in outs. They don't have to play a ton of shifts. When a pitcher's making his pitches, he basically directs the hitter to where he wants him to hit it.
Machado has struck out twice. Takes a strike. Not only has Price been willing to do what Alex Cora has asked him to do, he's been effective. And he hasn't turned down Cora for anything. Alex Cora used Nathan Eovaldi for 6 innings here in Game 3. As Machado lines out the short caught by Bogaerts. The job that Alex Cora has done with his lineup, with his manipulation of his pitching staff, getting around some guys that aren't quite right this time of year, covering for holes in their bullpen by using starters at the right time. He's created a culture with the Red Sox that is, in this day and age, pretty special.
It is. And if you even think a little bit about how his team has executed, which has made a lot of those decisions work even better. I mean, this series, there's been a clinic on production.
Muncy pops up into left center field. Benintendi has out number 2.
It's been a clinic on production, clutch hitting. Yes, they've struck out, but they don't seem to strike out very often with runners in scoring position. And really, it helps making some of those risky, I call them, they're calculated but risky decisions, because if they don't work, it has a trickle effect. That 18-inning game, I mean, you think about it. The Dodgers execute yesterday. We're talking about this series in a whole different way, even if Red Sox were to win tonight. It put a lot of pressure on the Red Sox and the usage, but they came through, and as he mentioned to us, picked him up yesterday by their execution late. And now, 7 outs away.
Picked him up as Puig offers it that pitch, and he stands there with his hands on his hips. Showing up the umpire down the first base line, and now will walk away. But saying that it was the at-bat by Puig. Maybe going to Rodriguez, sticking with him too long at the end of a long night, first postseason start. Puig blasted one into the seats and left. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2. Alex Cora is trying to join a list of the guys in yellow. First year as manager of the Boston Red Sox. The guys who won a title. Those who won are in yellow. Alex Cora trying to get his name to change color on that graphic. Farrell did it in 2013. Terry Francona did it in 2004. 0-2, back to Price. What a night. It's all David Price in Game 5. And on the strength of 3 Boston Red Sox home runs. Into the 8th we go. With the Sox leading by 3. Series presented by YouTube TV on Fox. Aerial coverage tonight is brought to you by State Farm. Down below, this crowd is hoping to send their Dodgers back to Boston for a Game 6. Just a 3-run game, and Pedro Baez is into the action to try to keep it that way. Great numbers this postseason. Closed very strong for Dave Roberts. Good final month of the season. Very good month of October, and he deals with a hitter, Mookie Betts. Mookie homered his last time up, 1 for 3. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One of the things I want to finish about Alex Cora, what I think is different than the new age manager or the young manager that doesn't have to go to the minor leagues per se, and the trend that we're seeing. I think being in the bench, obviously with AJ last year, Houston helped. being as the general manager in the World Baseball Classic, seeing that side of it, having to make tough decisions about personnel help. And I think he's in a really good spot with a really good team. And he recognizes all of those, and he's not afraid to come out early and say, hey, I made a mistake. Or like last night, hey, I let a moment get too fast. And I think that's the quality that the team buys into, and he communicates well. So he is cut above what would typically be the newer, younger manager that doesn't have to spend those times in the minor leagues, which was usually a prerequisite and important on how to manage people, situations, and the game.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Betts, then Benintendi, then Steve Pearce. Baez with the count even, 2-2, brings it. 10-3 this postseason. They defeated a couple of 100-win teams to get to the World Series. Over 6 runs a game, hit .364 with runners in scoring position, and they've gone 6-1 on the road, and more than doubled the output of the home team during that stretch. 2-2 pitch is flied into center. Back, drifting, Hernandez. 1 out. As we go around the crowd, there's Leslie Mann, husband Judd Apatow. Tony Robbins could give a motivational speech to the Dodgers, and from Ben Affleck to Matt Damon to Jimmy Kimmel, Joe Torre, Dave Winfield, Pat Sajak, picking a vowel on his phone right now. 1 out, bases empty. Benintendi gets jammed, popped it up. Barnes has it, 2 down.
YouTube TV. Watch like a fan.
Baez doing what he can do to keep the Dodgers in this ball game is Steve Pearce. 1 for 3 tonight, but set the tone early with a 1-out, 2-run home run in the first inning into left center off Kershaw to score Benintendi. Dodgers got their only run in the bottom of the first inning. In the pitching department, David Price now has retired 14 straight. Nobody up in the bullpen. There has been action there. There was some last inning. Here's StatCast AI, powered by Amazon Web Services. The home run by Pearce, and that tone setter back in the first.
Amazing quick jolt for the Red Sox.
Nothing in 1 the count. High fly ball into left, back at the wall. He's got another. How about Steve Pearce? Second of the game. Third in the last 2 games. It's 5-1 Boston here in the 8th. Single runs in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Betts, Martinez, now Pearce with solo shots.
I mean, talk about ending your year on the highest and highest of notes. My goodness.
Martinez was trying to double up. Strike 1. 35 years old, getting a taste of the World Series. And he likes the taste. 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 on J.D. Martinez.
And it's such a simple swing with tremendous power.
And the reaction from the Red Sox bullpen, which so far tonight, because of the pitching of the starter David Price, has been just watching with the rest of us out in that right field corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. These are the stories of the guys that have been all over the place, trying to settle in, never getting a chance to settle in. Minor leagues, big leagues, back and forth, organization after organization comes to the Red Sox. And what a month of October. What a World Series. A 1-2 pitch.
You know, this is one of those strange series where, unlike Cleveland and Chicago, where there was 2 major droughts, you know, one team was going to be relieved of their drought. The Dodgers certainly have their own drought in over 30 years, and they've gone to back-to-back World Series, and there was some pressure on them in just the time frame and how much is left, right? Well, for the Red Sox, even though they've had some championships to deal with, they won 108 games. The best team in baseball had to go through those 2 100 teams. I mean, this has not been an easy journey. And they're looking like they're going to complete the cycle, if you will. Very few teams win it all with the best record in baseball lately.
They lost 1 game to the Yankees, lost 1 game, the first game, to the Astros. They lost game 3 in 18 innings here in L.A. They won last night, getting up off the deck as Martinez strikes out. But here tonight in game 5, trying to win a world championship. They're making Tony Cease happy back in Boston. A 4-home run night. Pierce has 2 of them. And the Red Sox lead by 4 in game 5. After the days in Brooklyn, you see what they were able to accomplish, this organization, 58-88, 7 division titles. They had their 9 pennants, 5 championships. It's been frustrating since. And coming into this World Series, Dave Roberts talked about 1988, the last time the Dodgers won it. Clayton Kershaw talked about it. Both said no disrespect to that great team that overcame the Oakland A's to win that World Series, but we're tired of hearing about 1988. It keeps getting thrown at us. With this opportunity here, they've got to rally with 6 outs left. And they'll keep hearing about 1988 for at least 1 more year as the count goes to 2-0, and David Price continues to rewrite the narrative about this veteran left-hander with what he's done here this October compared to Octobers past, and what he's done in the World Series, trying to win his 2nd game through the first 5. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Taylor, trying to get on to start something. Takes a strike.
Obviously, this is not going to erase everything that he's done in the postseason, but it's going to make people forget about a lot. That's how good it's been, and that's how good the last 2 performances, really the last 3 performances as a starter. But what you talked about is all the work in between, all the interruptions, all the firing of the baseball, trying to get hot just in case, even last night. And when a pitcher like David Price is in rhythm, you know what you have. What you're seeing is a guy that's in command. So throw away the numbers, throw away the days of rest. You let your eyes tell you everything you need, and there is his career in the last 3 games.
Compared to the 2-9, 5.42 ERA over his first 19 postseason games. The count is full. The bullpen is ready if Alex Cora wants to go there. As Joe Kelly, who got the win last night, continues to get loose. On deck is Matt Kemp. Looks like he'll bat for Barnes. Can someone start a rally for LA? That's what this packed house wants to see. A leadoff walk, and that breaks the string of 14 in a row retired by David Price. Now a quick word from Duracell.
This is the #1 trusted brand.
The first pitch of the night by David Price was hit over the wall and right by David Freese. Did David Price step up for his team here tonight? Wow.
Yes, he did. And he knows it. It's a great feeling. He finished the year pretty much on empty.
Pitches into the 8th. Brilliant performance with Kelly coming in. 1 on, nobody out. Dodgers not finished yet.
This is your game. This is your game, Poppy. This is your game. I'm boy. Big job, Poppy. I'm boy.
A nice moment on the mound as David Price exited. Joe Kelly entered. Here he is, 1 on, nobody out. Dodgers with life. Here's Kemp. Ball 1 inside at 97 from Joe Kelly.
So what Joe Kelly's been able to do is hit with his curveball pretty much every time he wants. Gives him a free strike. And his command with his fastball has been way better this postseason than down the stretch in the regular season. When he got in trouble, it was the command that went awry.
'97 again from Kelly. Swung on and missed by Kemp.
Now the Dodgers, all they've got to do is grind every at bat and get as many people on base as possible. They're running out of opportunities, of course, here, and they've been able, just like they did last night, almost brought the tying run up in the 9th, down 5.
They didn't quit last night. They've got 6 outs to play with here. That's strike 2 on Kemp. Kemp homered in his first at bat in game 1 at Fenway Park. As Chris Sale gets loose for the Red Sox in their bullpen with Matt Barnes. Alex Cora told us that was a possibility. So Sale gets loose. Kemp. 2-2.
The success that the hard-throwing Red Sox have had has come at the top of the zone against the Los Angeles Dodgers. They have been preaching throughout the year to throw that four-seamer on the top part of the strike zone and then throw your secondary pitches off of that. A successful approach to the type of hitting we see these days.
2-2. Struck him out. Low way.
And this is what you're talking about. Kind of that lower three-quarter angle and then let the ball rise up. Hard to hit.
Jock Peterson now comes off the bench to bat for Pedro Baez, who went 1 inning, allowed the home run to Pierce. Struck out 1. One for 11 in this series. Hitting .211 this postseason. 99 from Kelly, ball one. Nathan Eovaldi gets up. You've got basically three guys with only one big mound, two rubbers to throw from. As Peterson misses, you saw Matt Barnes standing off to the side with a baseball in his hand. Leading 5-1, and Eovaldi has to crank it up. Taylor on at first, one out, 2-0 pitch. Peterson. Kershaw went 7, allowed 4 runs on 7 hits, struck out 5, walked nobody, 3 home runs allowed. Pierce, Betts, Martinez. Baez gave up a home run. Now the 2-1 pitch to Jock Peterson. Couldn't hold up. 2-2.
2-0 swing was about the biggest swing you're going to see. Down by 4. And then this just not as committed. Now he's going to have to battle with 2 strikes.
Good block by Vasquez. And a full count. Time called at the plate, and the home plate umpire Jeff Nelson did a good job to scoot out to his left to make sure Kelly saw him and allowed Dodger Stadium. So he didn't start to bring it home and then have to awkwardly stop. Peterson up, Bellinger on deck. Jock Peterson trying to get on any way he can. Rips it foul. Right now, a quick word from Taco Bell.
Right now, when you grab a $5 double chalupa box, you can enter for a chance to win an exclusive Platinum Xbox One X, only at Taco Bell.
Put down the chalupa. Focus.
Wrong button, buddy. Wrong button.
Another 3-2 pitch from Kelly. Strike 3 called. 2 out.
That was just a perfect pitch on 3-2. Buried it inside corner. Jock could not pull the trigger. And Joe Kelly continues to impress.
Now Cody Bellinger will bat for David Freese, who had a homer, a triple, albeit on a ball that J.D. Martinez just lost and didn't see. Back in the 3rd inning, 2 for 3 while he was in there against David Price. And now Bellinger will try to extend this inning for Justin Turner. that is. Up for ball one. The two starters, the two veteran left-handers. David Price won that matchup. That's a strike from Kelly.
That's the pitch I'm talking about. That's what's made the fastball even more electric. I mean, you just can't imagine you're sitting at home, 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and then see that breaking ball. There's just got to be a mistake for the hitter to stay in there and hit that pitch.
Pitch number 15 from Kelly is fouled back. And Joe Kelly could come on here in the 8th inning now and strike out the side as he has Bellinger set up at 1-2, and Vasquez goes out to visit. T-Mobile is going to bat for Hurricane Recovery, donating $10,000 for every home run hit. But rebuilding is far from done. For every tweet or retweet with hashtag HR4HR, T-Mobile will donate $2 to help those affected by hurricanes. Packed house down below. Those in Dodger blue are hoping to get Justin Turner to the plate here in the 8th. In a 4-run game. The 1-2. Struck him out. Joe Kelly struck out the side. Kelly continues his mastery in this World Series. And not scared to show it. What a night for David Price and the Red Sox through 8, leading by 4. Hoodies, jerseys, jackets, and more. Find all the Dodgers and Red Sox World Series gear you need at MLBshop.com. Oliver and Aaron Hudson, they're splitting up together on who they're rooting for tonight. And Coach Ballgame, the hat on, part of our pregame show during the NLCS. The jug of milk.
That was a jug of milk.
It was a jug of milk. That's Coach Ballgame for you. Here's Kenley Jansen, who is just trying to keep this a 4-run game and give the Dodgers some sort of hope. Changes all over the place as the Dodgers remind of their versatility. Here's Bogaerts. Nice enough to wear a microphone for us tonight. Xander Bogaerts 1 for 3. Line to base hit into left. All right. There are the changes. Kemp stays in. He's in left. Chris Taylor moves to center. Kike Hernandez from center to second. Max Muncy from second to first. Yasmani Grandal doing the catching after they hit for Barnes. And Kenley Jansen on the mound. Well, in the bottom of this 9th inning, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 batters. For the Dodgers, that means Turner, Hernandez, and Machado. 4-run game, and Jansen trying to keep it there. 2-1.
Don't know who it's going to be against. We don't see anybody in the bullpen for the Red Sox at this point.
Could be anybody. Could be Kelly. Could be Barnes. It could be Sale. It could be Eovaldi. 2-2 on Bogaerts. And just to give you proof, nobody is getting loose for Boston at the moment. That was not the case in the bottom of the 8th. And 3 guys were up at one point. 2-2 pitch. Full count. Baez went 1, allowed a run on 1 hit. The home run by Pierce. He became the 5th Red Sox player with 2 home runs in a World Series game. The last to do it, Rico Petrocelli. Game 6 of 1967. In the series against St. Louis. 3-2 pitch from Jansen to the leadoff man. He walked him. David Price, what a night for him. That's him being able to celebrate during the course of his 7+ innings, and then a little moment for Joe Kelly, who picked him up in the 8th by striking out the side after the leadoff walk. Kelly has been lights out.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing, the Red Sox, again, they've had this kind of rallying cry with some incredible individual performance. And you think about Eovaldi and what he did, and we talked about it and how the team got together afterwards, gave a standing ovation. They lost that game. And the tight-knit group and the ability for each guy, the next man up, it's been a complete year. I mean, the game still has 3 more outs, 6 in this case, but it's been a complete year to this point for the Red Sox.
It's up and away. Spring training, they started 17-2. You can get fooled by spring training results, but it was just a little precursor of what was to come. They won 108 during the regular season. They lost once to the Yankees, once to the defending World Series champion Astros, once so far to the Dodgers. 4-6-3 on the double play, and the bases are empty with Devers coming up. And now a quick word from Disney.
This Thanksgiving, huh? Ralph breaks the internet. Rated PG.
17-2 mark by the Red Sox is how they got out of the gate. They rode that forward and finished 108-54. They had the best record in spring training, the best record in the regular season, and the best record in the postseason. That is an odd ground ball to first, picked up by Muncy. And Jansen does a nice job. Gets around the leadoff walk, and the 2, 3, and 4 batters coming up for the Dodgers, who are trailing 5-1 in Game 5 and 3-1 in the World Series. Red Sox on the brink of winning it all in 2018. Dave Dombrowski, their general manager, who's been in that position calling the shots since 2016. They won back-to-back divisions, 2016 and 17, but made a move at the managerial position. You see what they've done in the World Series, 15-3 over the last 3+. Dombrowski, the guy who pulled off the deal to get Chris Sale, and John Smoltz. Dave Dombrowski kind of bridges the gap between old school baseball, new school baseball. They still play some of the old way. It's not all about launch angle with this Boston team. That's why they are such tough outs, as they make some changes defensively. Saw Chris Sale is on the mound. Dombrowski and his Marlins won it all in '97. GM, he came up short twice in the World Series with Detroit in '06 and 2012. But now Boston will have Chris Sale on the mound trying to close down Game 5.
Yep, Chris Sale trying to give him an inning. Been nasty all year, dealing with injuries in the second half, but he's got adrenaline rushing through his body right now, as you can imagine.
Bradley, you saw in the game in center. Mookie Betts goes from center to right. They have their best defensive lineup out there for Alex Cora, trying to win the World Series in his first year as a manager. 2 quick strikes on Justin Turner. Sale pitched in Game 1 as the starter, went 4+. Allowed 3 runs, 5 hits, struck out 7, a no decision, and an 8-4 Red Sox win. David Price followed that up with a win in Game 2. David Price, the pitcher of record here in Game 5. Outstanding tonight, the 0-2. Look at the bullpen and his teammates applauding him on his way out of the pen, through the gate, and into the middle of the action here in Game 5.
Well, it's obvious he's been dealing with something. His shoulder hasn't been great. Hadn't pitched a lot down the stretch.
He strikes out Turner. Good block by Vasquez. He gets an angle for the throw. 1 out.
But he's still nasty. And it's been a condensed version of Chris Sale this postseason. Trying to take care of him, give him extra rest. Virtually, when he's throwing his slider, he's unhittable. And that's really been kind of the one signal that you can look at in his first start against the Houston Astros. Couldn't finish that slider. Didn't finish 5 innings in Boston. Kind of nasty weather, but he's trying to finish Game 5.
Here's Kike Hernandez. 0 for 3, takes a strike. The Red Sox hang on to this one. David Price gets the win, and he will win his 3rd straight start. We go to 3-1 overall this postseason. Kershaw would suffer the loss. 2-3 this postseason, 9-10 in his career, with an ERA of 4.32. And a decision for him with an opt-out clause in his deal. Here's a 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Red Sox won their 14th American League pennant. They're in their 13th World Series. 1904, there was no World Series. They're 8-time world champions overall. They won 5 of the 15 World Series to begin at the beginning of the 20th century, and they're trying to win their 4th World Championship over the last 15 years and finish it tonight. Full count now on Hernandez. So they dominated the early part of the 20th century and trying to dominate the early part of the 21st century.
They're not going anywhere either. They're young. They'll be more than ready if they win this thing to defend their championship next year.
Chased one up, did Kike Hernandez, with Machado on deck. A 4-run game, 3-2 pitch, breaking ball, struck him out. The Red Sox are 1 out away. And that'll bring in Manny Machado.
That slider is, like I said, unhittable.
Wicked. A wicked slider. And now Machado will try to extend it. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Hitting under 200 in the World Series. A lot of that. This has not been an October that Manny Machado will want to remember. An opportunity here with the Dodgers, about to go into free agency. Picked up in July from Baltimore. 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. And the Dodgers are down to their final strike. John Henry, Tom Werner, ownership of the Boston Red Sox in attendance. Sale trying to end it right here. 0-2 pitch. This Boston organization has been well run for a long time now. From the top on down, here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series. 5-1 the final tonight. And the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018. David Price pitched into the 8th inning. His second start of this World Series. He worked in relief in Game 3. He was warming up last night to come into the ball game. Just an incredible performance by the 33-year-old left-hander who is a world champion.
Yeah, you grind all year, you leave spring training, you fight as a team, but you gain a lot of respect at this time. And I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of individual performances that are going to go down as incredible. And each guy realizes it with that team right now. Eovaldi, Price, Sale pitching hurt. Porcello doing whatever it takes. What an effort, what a year.
Brock Holt, a big part of the championship last night, getting the game-winning rally started. After all that action from the 7th inning on, and the Red Sox win it. Let's go down to Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Joe. Well, Mookie, I'm sure growing up in Tennessee, you probably dreamed about winning the World Series. Tonight, you're a world champion. Describe how that feels.
It's amazing. I mean, it's a dream come true. AC told us from the first day in spring training we can do it, and we believe in ourselves. We believed in him, and we went out and executed.
Now, you have been 0 for Los Angeles. 13 at-bats here. We saw the smile on your face when that home run went out of the park. What did that feel like?
It was amazing just to know I contributed at some point. But, I mean, these guys, man, they picked up everything, all the slack that I left, you know, and that's what a team does.
Mookie, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thanks, Tom. Short interview because he's got to join this picture. The likely MVP of the American League, he contributed plenty. He had been struggling before that home run here in this game, but they're not here without his efforts in 2018. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. When a team leaves spring training, you want to have the edge in as many categories as possible. And they literally had the edge offensively, starting pitching, defense, with their legs, speed, and even their bullpen. Their bullpen was fantastic. And they are about as complete of a team as it gets.
The emotion with David Price, who, again, just to give you the numbers, at one point, before his walk to Chris Taylor to start the 8th inning, he had retired 14 straight from that ball that went for a triple off the bat of David Freese that Martinez lost in the sky. 7+, 1 run, 3 hits through 89 pitches, struck out 5, walked 2, allowed a home run on the first pitch of the night, and after that he was as good as he could have ever hoped to be. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. David, your World Series champs. You guys won 119 games, including postseason. What made this team so special?
Honestly, everything. I mean, we did everything extremely well all year long. We stuck together. You know, just when we were going through a rough patch, you know, nobody panicked. It was just day to day all year long, and that was very special.
You started Game 2, pitched in relief in Game 3, warmed up twice in Game 4, 7 innings for the win in Game 5. What is your level of fatigue right now?
I feel good. I don't know. I feel good.
Now, you said all along that you needed to win the World Series to end all the questions about your performance in the postseason. You've done that. 3 straight wins in the postseason. What does this moment mean to you?
It's very special, you know. I mean, seeing all these grown men over there just acting like little kids, it's what it's all about. You know, this feeling kind of feels the same of 2008, but you know, to go through the entire grind and to come out on top the way that we did, that was unreal.
And for you personally, how gratifying?
This is why I came to Boston. You know, this is I knew it was a tough place to play. I knew it was challenging with everything that's going to go on there. But I've been through a lot in 3 years since I've been here. But this is why I came.
David, congratulations. Thank you. Joe, back to you.
He signed the big deal in 2016 to come to the Boston Red Sox, and with him came questions about whether he was a big game pitcher. Here in 2018, those questions have led to an answer. Yes. And when Alex Cora, his first-year manager, needed him multiple times, he said yes and delivered. As did Chris Sale, who struck out the side in the 9th inning. And the dominant performance by the Boston Red Sox ends here with a championship.
No greater feeling in the world as a teammate to jump on a dog pile. Got to experience that once. It's the greatest feeling in the world in sports. You can't get enough of it. They'll enjoy the heck out of it now, and they'll try to make that same feeling come true come next spring training.
All smiles for the Red Sox as they clinch this World Series on the road. But a lot of Red Sox fans in attendance here in L.A. We ask you to stay tuned. The Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award is coming up as we continue on from Dodger Stadium. We welcome you back to Los Angeles, and we peek in on Tony C's in Boston as the celebration is on and official. Back in New England, all of the postseason playoff series were clinched on the road. Well, you wouldn't know it by what's going on here at LA and Dodger Stadium at this moment. See what they've done in the World Series appearances since 2004. All the Red Sox fans in attendance, they have stayed and they are making some noise. And we're going to have the trophy presentation coming up here in just a moment. A game that lasted exactly 3 hours long. World Series game number 5. A final of 5-1. Price over Kershaw. And let's throw it down to Kevin Burkhardt.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. So in the last 15 years, it's now the 4th time the Boston Red Sox are world champions. One more time. Let's have some fun. We've got the Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, with me here, and the Red Sox dignitaries are here. John Henry, the principal owner, Linda Henry back there, Tom Werner, the chairman, Dave Dombrowski, president of baseball ops. A lot of hugs with his manager, Alex Cora, and we'll go down the line and do that. But first, it's time for the Commissioner's Trophy. Rob Manfred, you're up.
Well, the Boston Red Sox had a great 2018 season, an amazing run through the postseason. I'd like to congratulate John Henry and Tom Werner, the owners of the Red Sox, their GM, Dave Dombrowski, and their first-year manager, Alex Cora, on a great season. And on behalf of all of us at Major League Baseball, I'd like to present you with the 2018 Commissioner's Trophy, the world champion, Boston Red Sox.
John, as you pass that along, and you felt that hardware before, what makes this one so special?
Well, I think that this team this year showed what unity, diversity, a sense of purpose and determination can mean. It showed all of us. But this, I just want to say from everyone back home, congratulations, this is the greatest Red Sox team in history. Congratulations, Red Sox Nation.
Congratulations to you, John. Let's move on over, see if we can snag Dave Dombrowski. Dave, how are you?
Not any better.
I figured that. You've been in this game a long time, and you're so well respected and so well loved, and you know these are hard to come by. Last one for you is 97. What's this one feel like right about now?
Well, it's as good as it gets. I mean, it is a hard thing to do to win. It's a fantastic feeling, and it's so wonderful. Everybody in the organization, everybody that contributes, behind the scenes, scouts, player development, international operations, our front office staff, everybody, and you can see the joy it brings to them when they come into town with you, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I know you're ecstatic for every one of these players, but how gratifying is it for you when you see on a stage like this some of the key pieces you went out and got performed, like a Pierce, like a Vivali, guys like that?
Well, it's just fantastic. I mean, the guys that recommended them to us, and it's just something because every little difference, every little move can make a difference, and it's great to just see what it brings, which is a world championship to the city of Boston.
Yeah, congrats.
Enjoy it. Thank you.
We've got the first-year manager, Alex Cora, here. First-year managing, and all you did was author the best season in Red Sox history. Not too bad.
I mean, it's what a season. Everything starts with these guys. They're very talented. They bought into it, from day one in spring training. They've been very consistent as far as preparation, going about the business, and what a way to end it.
You played here and won as a player with the Red Sox. Now you come back and do it as a manager. You know what this city's feeling like right about now. What do you think they're doing there?
I don't know. I think they're going as crazy as Puerto Rico right now. I mean, it's like I can't even imagine what is going on in Boston. I can't even imagine what is going on in my island. I mean, this is for you guys. Congratulations.
Last one. You talked about Puerto Rico. When you got this job, the one thing you asked for was a plane full of supplies to fly down to your hometown, to fly down to Puerto Rico and help those people. Pride factor for you right now in representing the people of Puerto Rico.
It's amazing, man. I'm from Caguas, Puerto Rico. Not too many people know where that's it. But I just wanted to help my people. And the next thing I'm going to ask ownership is if we can take this trophy to my island. That would be great.
Alex, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we've got more to do. The MVP presentation is coming up. The Red Sox, world champs again. Joe, take it away for now.
Kevin, great job down there, and congratulations. The celebration has been building here in L.A. We peek back in on Boston from time to time and see what's going on in the streets around Fenway Park. And there's a look. Passionate sports fans of New England, and they've got another world championship to celebrate, the 9th in franchise history and the 4th over the last 15 years. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal with Andrew Benintendi.
Andrew, first off, David Price, how impressed were you by what he did, not just tonight, but this whole postseason?
It was awesome.
Pretty much the entire year, he did what he did right there. I mean, 2 times now in short rest, comes out and shoves. It speaks to the kind of guy he is. Goes for everybody, honestly, on our team. Do whatever we need to do to win, and that's what they showed.
What did it mean to the team to have Sale on the mound for the final inning?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, he's one of the most dominant pitchers in the league, and we got 3 outs to get. And, there's nobody else who'd rather have on the mound than Chris Sale.
The team itself, Andrew, you guys accomplished so much. When did you know you had something special here?
I don't know. I mean, we knew we had a special team from the start in spring training. We knew what we were capable of. But I think, honestly, the guys we have in our clubhouse, the selflessness, the humility that we show, it's what got us to this point, and honestly, I think put us over the top.
Andrew, thanks very much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kenny, thank you. Congratulations to Andrew Benintendi. And as we welcome you back inside the broadcast booth, I'm Joe Buck along with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. And my gosh, this Boston team, you were a part of the organization for a brief while. We have watched this organization win and win and win. And there is so much, I look down this list, John, so much homegrown talent in this organization, but the right pieces were added to make them the best team in the game.
It's absolutely. I think about 22, 23-year-olds, and that's all they know is basically championships in their city between football, baseball, basketball. And now this is a team that really has been the perfect combination of numbers, old school, get it done. They execute. They don't strike out. It's still a plan that works, and they have the resources that they put together at the right time. And again, I've watched a lot of baseball. I've seen a lot of great teams. It's about as complete of a baseball team I've seen in a long time.
It is hard to change what people think of you in any walk of life. And I say that because I think about David Price. He had a lot of critics to quiet here in 2018. He's a big piece of the team that set the franchise record for wins with 108. But then it was, okay, now what?
Yeah.
It was that way for the team, but it was that way individually for David Price. And then he had that terrible start in the second game of the division series. Didn't last through 2 innings, and people said, well, there he is again. And really, from that moment on, he has been lights out and gets the win here tonight, 2 in the World Series.
He's been great. And he didn't handle Boston right away early, but he sure has adjusted, and Boston has now adjusted to David Price.
Let's go down to the field to Kevin Burkhardt.
Joe, thanks very much. Time now for the Willie Mays Most Valuable Trophy presentation presented by Chevrolet. Without further ado, once again, the commissioner.
We saw some great performances in the World Series. None better than that of Steve Pearce. 3 home runs, 8 RBI in just 5 games. It's my pleasure to present to you the Willie Mays World Series Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Congratulations, Steve.
That thing looks like it weighs about 150 pounds.
Yeah, I wish you would have warned me first.
Steve, this was just amazing to watch overall, but I want to go on a personal level with you to start. Alex Cora, you talk to all the players in your clubhouse and what he means to them. What does he mean to you?
This has been the funnest year of my life, and he's part of it. He welcomed me when I came into the clubhouse, and he made me feel part of the team right away, and it was awesome. It was awesome to play for him, and I can't wait to see what the future has to come.
You've been in a lot of clubhouses. In fact, you've been in every one in this American League East. What stood out about this Red Sox team?
Man, we are a bunch of grinders, and it's awesome. The way we play day in, day out. We expect that of each other, and this is exactly where we knew we were going to be.
Do you ever think this is possible? I mean, you've been in the playoffs before, obviously with Baltimore, but to be on this stage, to have the series that you did.
Baseball's a funny game. As long as you stay in the game, great things can happen, and I'm very blessed to be here right now.
You roll through great teams, the Yankees, the Astros, the Dodgers. You lose 3 total games. What was the biggest key in your eyes?
That's just what our team's about. We show up every single day, and that's how we prepare. And you know, we knew we were going to be here the whole time, and it's just a great feeling.
Where are you going to put this when you get home?
I'll find some place for it.
All right, well, I have something that may be a little harder to put. We're going to get over to Shondor Pizar, who is representing Chevrolet. A little gift, Steve, for you.
Thanks, Kevin, and congratulations, Steve. As the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, Chevrolet is honored to present you this prestigious award, as well as our all-new 2019 Silverado Trail Boss for your outstanding performance in tonight's game, as well as the entire series. On behalf of Chevrolet and all our Chevrolet dealers, congratulations.
Very much. Thank you.
So you can enjoy the truck, and before we let you go, you want to say to all these fans right here, that you know, the Red Sox are what are they?
They're world champions, baby. World champions, number one. Woo!
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Steve Pearce, the MVP. Back upstairs, Joe.
Kevin, thanks. What a moment for that 35-year-old and for this Red Sox organization, who are 16-3 over the last 4 World Series. A vital part of the 219 total wins put up by the Red Sox this year, and he is the MVP.
What an incredible moment. Couldn't have probably dreamt that earlier this season, and he ended up in the right spot, and he delivered in the right moments. And between him and David Price, wow.
Steve Pearce started the season in Toronto. As Kevin said, he's been a part of every franchise in the AL East. He's the MVP. Over the past year, T-Mobile has been dedicated to supporting the hurricane recovery efforts of veteran-led Team Rubicon. With every home run and every tweet together, donated nearly $5 million, and it wouldn't be possible without your support. So on behalf of T-Mobile, thank you to the fans, players, and first responders. More celebration from Los Angeles to come. The Red Sox hoisting the trophy in 2018. Stay with us on Fox.